How's it, guys? This is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to probably quite a long overdue live stream. We're going to be covering the Gameweek 12 deadline. Apologies if I do sound a little bit tired. I've just finished a 3.5-hour exam, so reflecting a little bit on it, and I just thought that I would get on and hopefully answer some of your guys' questions. I know that I have not been that active over on Twitter and YouTube. Just forgive me for that. It is my exam period, so not that active, but I thought that I might as well just jump on a nice Friday night deadline so I can answer all you guys and your questions. Can someone just say in chat if the audio is sounding fine? Sometimes I'm a little bit skeptical about if it's sounding good or not, so hopefully you guys can just tell me that in chat. Otherwise, get your questions in and I'll hopefully be answering them. This is my team currently. I don't think it's going to be changing much. The only thing that I'm a little bit scared on is benching Lascelles, and then Newcastle do keep the clean sheet. So hopefully maybe some of you guys can tell me what I should be doing. I'm also have a little hint of a suspicion that Lundstrom's not going to be scoring that many points this week, and I think that I'm almost a little bit scared to bench him just because of what he has the potential to do. So I probably should be playing Lascelles over Lundstrom, but I guess that I just went for him. But yes, I have taken the -8. I know those of you who have followed the channel for quite a while are thinking what's happened with Dayvy and where can we get him back, because I don't usually take hits. But I just thought that this was one of those game weeks. Not expecting much, to be honest. I don't think this game week's going to be that high scoring, and I think we definitely will be getting a red arrow here. So maybe no rank in the description next week's for the team selection, if you know what I'm saying. But otherwise, let's get into some of the questions that you guys have over for me in the chat. We have I've actually almost forgotten some of you guys that are, I know that there was a lot of you that used to watch my live streams quite consistently, so hopefully you guys are back in the chat again. But so basically, if you have not watched the team selection, you probably won't know what the transfers were. But I did do Soyonku or Soyonchu, whatever you say it like. I did him for Mendy, and then I did Pereira out for Lascelles, and then I upgraded Mapei to Vardy. What are my exams for? They are my university exams. I'm in third year, so yeah, that's why I had an exam session. One Rovers Vlogs, yes, -8, so you guys can all catch me up. Joke's on you, you guys are all ahead of me anyway, so that gap has just been expanded. Should I play Yarmolenko or Cantwell? I would play Yarmolenko. I think that Cantwell's lost his spot a little bit in that Norwich lineup. I think it's Hernandez that has replaced him now. He looks to be on a little bit better form, but I don't think Norwich overall are looking too great. And then I don't think that Watford are looking too shabby, so I don't think that game's going to be super high scoring, but I think that we'll probably find out in the next couple hours if I'm right or wrong. What am I studying? I'm doing mechanical engineering. Boca, yeah, South Africa won the Rugby World Cup. What a weekend, actually. I managed to watch that game in the morning, and then Liverpool won in the last minute against Aston Villa, so quite a hectic day of sporting there. I can't really remember one being so good. How's it from Joburg? How's it, Greasy Trumpet? How are you doing? Dylan Kennedy, should I start Lundstrom or Aurier? That's a tough one on paper. I'd probably say Aurier 100%, but I think we all know kind of what's happened with Sheffield United's fixtures and how they've been performing defensively, so you could go for it, but I do think that Spurs will win this game quite comfortably. Another question was, I'm seeing a lot of Pookie captains ? Guys, I don't know if I would do that, to be honest. I think it's risky. If you want to go for it, do it. But I think that if Norwich don't perform well tonight, I think your weekend's going to be quite long. And the thing is, this week it's going to be a low-scoring week anyway, so it's probably a little bit too big of a risk. But I think that Pookie has to score soon. He's been not getting those points recently, so I guess that it's about time that he probably will score. So I guess you can take a punt on it. I don't know if I would do. I think I would even consider the Liverpool assets a better option than Pookie. Why are you picking Vardy as captain over Tammy? I just think that Vardy's got a higher ceiling. I don't think Crystal Palace are going to be getting pumped at Stamford Bridge, and it kind of nullifies my hit a little bit if I do manage to captain the Leicester player that I brought in. It makes it a little bit better for me than kind of looking and seeing him not be my captain. I think I explained this in my team selection video, but that's why I didn't mind taking the minus 8 hit. Main reason being is that I wouldn't have captained Vardy if I didn't have him. So the fact that I'm bringing him into captain, hopefully if he does well, it kind of negates the hit quite a bit. I'm just trying to sort something out here on the side, some technical difficulties, but I'll let you guys know when I'm back on the chat. So I should be back now. So what is everyone else saying in chat here? We got a lot of tags. Quite a lot of people spamming, so if you spam, I don't know if I'll be answering them that much. Jimenez for captain, one of the spam comments there. I don't know if I would go for Jimenez. Maybe if you have a risk, I think Aston Villa have been one of the most teams to concede shots, if I'm not mistaken, so you could go for him. I think if you don't own the likes of Vardy or Abraham, that's a good shout. Maybe a little bit of a differential captain there. I think the safe captain for this week is going to be Abraham. I think that if you're going to be comfortable with him, I think you'll score 1 goal at least. So I just think that Vardy, I think Leicester are going to pump Arsenal. So Rashford captain, you could if you're a Man United fan. I don't know if you would want to. Otherwise, Gaza Niga for Ryan, I would bring Gaza in. I think that Spurs are going to kind of have a little bit of a resurgence, and Ryan's fixtures aren't looking too great, so you might as well just take a punt. He should be starting for the next foreseeable future, the next couple game weeks. I think Lloris just had his surgery, so should be coming back in the new year, but that's plenty of time, especially over that December period, to play Gaza. Can you help me out? Who should I start, Lundstrom or Soyuncu? I would start Soyuncu, in my opinion. Start Cantwell. I don't think that Cantwell is going to play. I think he might have lost his place, so I think I'm going to be sticking with players that are probably more assured of a start. The only kind of consideration that I'm doing is maybe Ake and Lascelles, who to start out of them, but I think that game might end with both teams scoring anyway, so Vardy to pump Arsenal despite winning Player of the Month award. I don't really understand what you're saying. I don't know if that's you put a question mark there, but that almost sounds like you having a statement. Why Ake over Lascelles? Bournemouth have just been a little bit more defensive over the past couple game weeks, and I think that if you're looking at which side's more likely to score, you're probably going to be looking at Bournemouth. Maddison or Mount? I'd go Maddison. I think Leicester's fixtures are just too good, and you kind of have to get some of their attackers in. If you don't have Vardy, maybe a good coverage with Maddison. I think Vardy's the player that you want. Love you, David. Love you guys too. I appreciate the love. If you had Mendy, would you play him or transfer to another defender? I think that game's going to be quite high scoring, so I think that I would look at maybe transferring him out. If you don't have another bench alternative, then you could look at that. But I think that Man City's fixtures after the Liverpool game aren't that shabby, so you could still stick with Mendy. From a total rotation point of view, I would transfer him out, but if you kind of want to take a little bit of a risk, then you could go for him. Triple Leicester, too risky. Look, I don't think it's too risky just because of their fixtures. I think that if maybe they had worse fixtures, then you can go, but Leicester are a good informed side, so you got to be backing them over these easier fixtures, and I think that hopefully we can be getting some returns of them. Ake or Tomori? I would probably play Tomori. We have a super chat of £5 from Naz Khan. Do you think Mount will play a full game, or should I pay Pulisic? But thanks again. It's a tough one. Lampard's come out today and said that Mount is going to be in the squad. I personally think that Lampard definitely likes Mount. I think Mount's probably his favorite player. So I think that if he is fine, he will be starting. But I think that you might look at Pulisic as just a little bit of an alternative to Mount. I think that's probably a little bit safer to play Pulisic over Mount. It's a very tough one to say because obviously Pulisic started this midweek, so a lot of people are expecting Hudson-Odoi to start, but I think that Pulisic is the informed player, so even if he does come on later in the game, he probably will come on looking for a goal, so I would just play him. Aguero or Sterling, if you're talking about bringing them in, Sterling. If you're talking about playing them, probably Aguero. And if you're talking about captaincy, I think you just got to back Aguero. Gianni Ross saying, first time I catch you live. Congrats on your FPL rank and your videos from Lima, Peru. Keep it going. Thanks a lot, Gianni. I appreciate that. And from Peru, so you're probably around afternoon/morning there. But I'm hopefully looking to maybe travel to South America. So maybe can visit some of you guys over there. Are you looking to get rid of Salah soon? I don't think so. I think that if I was to wildcard, I would look at, I would probably look at Mane more. I think Mane is a better option than Salah, but with Liverpool's fixtures, I'm willing to just kind of ride Salah out a little bit and hope for that he picks up a bit more form. We have another super chat there from Mecca. Said, I took -8 hit like a champ. Well, a little bit of a spoiler, but I think most champions are taking minus hits this game week. Wink, wink, no. But if you have to take it, -8 is probably this week not too bad. I think it's going to be quite bad for us owners that have a lot of Man City and Liverpool players. I think the average is going to be quite low. Can I please design your new logo? I'm an artist. I actually have a new logo. I actually had it done before the season started, but I just felt like I was doing so well with this old logo. A little bit of superstition there, so I think as soon as I get a red arrow, I'll drop the new logo or the new kind of avatar if you guys want to. So put in the comments if you think that I need a new logo. I know we did a vote on it, and apparently I think it was like 55% of people said that I should get a new logo. So tell me what you think about that. Aurier or Janmaat Dayvy. I do like the look of Janmaat. I think that Watford should maybe kind of pick up a little bit more form. I don't think that they're going to be at the bottom of the table too much longer. So I think that you kind of can take a punt on Janmaat, not really owned. But if you're talking about players to start this game week, I think I would go with Aurier. Ake or Williams on defender, I would go with Williams or Willems. I know some maybe English speakers call him Williams or so with Willems, I just couldn't afford him. I was 0.1 mil out of that getting him, so that's why I went for Lascelles. But you could go for Willems if you want. He is definitely a more attacking player, so Mason Mount or Soyuncu, Pereira, Lundstrom or Rico. I think you got to play Pereira in that one. I think that he offers some attacking threat. I know that I transferred him out this game week, so probably a little bit of rich coming from me. But I think you just kind of have to go for it. It's a safe option. He's going to be playing 90 minutes, whereas probably Mason Mount might not. Salah or Abraham for captain, I would go for Abraham in that one. I think that that's a little bit of a better option there. I think that you can always back Liverpool and Man City to be a high-scoring game, but I think that you're probably a little bit safer on Abraham there. Why not Lascelles over Mount? I just think that Bournemouth should be scoring in this one. I'm just kind of hoping and playing the odds here that I get at least one clean sheet from it. And I think that Mount will play. Even if he comes on quite late on, it shouldn't be too bad. What I'm hoping is that if he doesn't play, if he doesn't start, he won't be coming on. And then hopefully we'll get Lascelles on and that game will end 0-0. FPL Penguin, hi Dayvy, you never walk alone. Hopefully this weekend, hopefully we can get the win over Man City, but I know there's a couple of Man City fans that are subscribers of mine, so I'm just hoping for a good game overall. Rashford as captain or Martial, I would go Martial captain over Rashford. I just think that he's looking a little bit better than Rashford. Will Alonso play? It's a tough one. I don't think so. I think that personally Emerson will play because I think Alonso played midweek, if I'm not mistaken. So that can kind of tell you what Frank Lampard's doing with his kind of play. I definitely would be playing my Chelsea defender if I did have them. I think that that's almost as likely as a clean sheet as there's going to be getting. Paul Loins said, or Leons, or however you pronounce it, sorry for butchering that, with a £2 super chat, would you swap Mount for Jimenez for the coming weeks? So let's take a look at the coming weeks here. I must say I do like the looks of Jimenez over the next couple, but I think that Chelsea, the way they're playing attacking wise, maybe if it's for a hit, I wouldn't, but otherwise You can do it. I think it's more of a risky transfer because Mount's quite high owned, whereas Jimenez is a little bit less. So a mega differential almost for there. So you could look at him. My personal opinion was I would probably leave it for this game week. I don't think Aston Villa are going to be a pushover, and he did just come off the back of minutes in the Europa League. So I think that you take a punt on Mount to start, and after that we can kind of look at what's happening after the international break. Mount replacement, a necessity with a hit. I don't think it's a necessity. I think if your bench is looking absolutely atrocious, maybe. But otherwise, I don't know. I don't know if I would be looking at transferring Mount out. Van Dijk or Rico, I think it's a tough one. I think you just play Van Dijk. He has some attacking threat off set pieces, so you could look at him. Lundstrom, Virgil van Dijk, or Soyuncu to be in my 11. I would go with Virgil van Dijk. Martial, Vardy, Abraham, or Wilson. Well, on my team here, I have Vardy captain, so that's probably the player I'm going to be pushing. Should I transfer Sterling to Son? You could, but I don't think that Man City's fixtures after Liverpool are looking that bad, and I don't know if you want to kind of make that transfer and then regret it. FPL Alex the Kid, Mount to Perez for a free transfer, or I have Rico first sub. I think you play Rico first sub in that case. I don't think that's a bad bench player at all. Tomori or Rico. Tomori, 100% play your Chelsea defender. I think that they probably have the best fixture from a defensive point of view. So I removed David Silva to Madison / Tielemans for -4. I think you can go for that one. Diraj, I think you can do that transfer. I don't think that -4 is going to be that bad. And over the next couple of game weeks, I think I favor Madison / Tielemans a lot more than David Silva because of those fixtures. Janmat or Rico, I think Rico. De Gea for Edison, you could look at that. I know he's quite an expensive keeper. I think I would maybe look at the likes of Gaza from Spurs as a little bit of a cheap alternative. Man United have been a little bit better than Spurs, probably defensively, but you are saving quite a bit of cash on that one. Peters or Rico, I actually forgot who Burnley are playing, to be honest. So let's just take a look here and then I can tell you. They're playing West Ham, so I don't think that's a bad fixture. But I think maybe I'd play Rico, I think, over Peters. That's just my opinion. Yarmolenko versus Ake, I think you play Yarmolenko. It's just an attacking player. I don't think that I think you got to back the odds of a goal or something like that rather than a clean sheet. Abraham or Vardy as captain, I've gone Vardy. Is Liverpool defense an essential in the coming weeks? I don't think it's an essential, but I do think that they're going to be picking up a little bit more form. I think that we have seen a little bit of dip on those FPL points recently from the Liverpool players, but I think over the next couple game weeks, those fixtures are just too good. And the thing that's annoying about Liverpool is, as I've watched them quite often, they usually concede like one shot on target, and then that's the goal. So if they can kind of cut out that threat, then they're going to be keeping loads of clean sheets, but unfortunately they just can't. McGinn or Mount, I think that you just play McGinn because he's probably guaranteed to start in that case. Martial versus Jimenez as captain. I'd probably go Martial. It's a little bit more of a punt. Lundstrom or Chilwell. Kelly or Dendoncker on the first position. Dendoncker. I wouldn't play Kelly. I don't think he's going to start. I don't think you can probably keep him first, but I think that the Chelsea game is a lot harder than the other players. So keep Wilson or take a hit. Who are you going to be taking the hit for? That's all. That's basically what it comes down to. Who are you going to be bringing in? Mopoy or Lundstrom to start? That is a tough one. I think you might as well just go with Mopoy. A little bit of a differential there. United haven't kept that many clean sheets. Probably will keep a clean sheet this game week, but I think you can take a little bit of a punt on that one. Willems or Tomori to transfer in. I think you go Tomori. Janmat or Soyuncu. I think you go Soyuncu. Mount / Odoi, 90 minutes, or will they come off the bench? That's like one of those questions that I can't really answer. I'm not really Frank Lampard in this one, so I can tell you maybe what's better transfers, but I can't tell you if Mount's going to be starting. Salah or Mane. Other questions. Lundstrom versus Aurier. Just play. If you have Chelsea defenders, play them. If you have Spurs defenders, play them. I think that'll kind of break down a lot of questions. Lascelles or Dunk? I think you got to go with Lascelles. I think that Brighton will concede away to United. So best mid under 10 mil for game week 12. I would probably look at the likes of Maddison. I have 5 more points than you. Soyuncu was the savior. I know. I've expressed how every single game week it's been a different Leicester defender than myself. So I expect Pereira to absolutely bang in a goal this game week. I can probably take a bet on it, and it will probably ease my pain come that review session of game week 12. Is Mount going to start? I do not know. I'm just taking a little bit of a punt. Lundstrom versus Aurier. Rashford or Abraham captain. Differential, go for Rashford, but if you want to be a little bit safe, I would go for Abraham. That's probably going to be quite a nice little captaincy if it does pay off. What's your prediction for tonight's game? I think it's going to be 2-1 to Watford. So 1-2 if you're looking at the home versus away. Thanks, Shane O'Neill. Appreciate you as well. Sol Sterling, question mark. I don't think so. I think that Man City's fixtures after the Liverpool game are looking quite nice. So I would probably I'd probably look at them a little bit more. Do you think Aubameyang still worth his price in the lineup after Lacazette is starting now? Easy fixtures though. That's the thing, is you kind of just have to look at the rest of your team, and if you really want to make an upgrade of other players in your lineup, such as your midfield or your defense or even another striker, then look at it. So basically you're going to be taking who you would transfer out and who you would bring in versus who you would upgrade, and then you take a look at that like 2v2. And if it kind of pays off in your mind, like let's say you could get Vardy and Maddison instead of Aubameyang and Dendoncker, then I would do it. Liverpool or Man City, I actually think that this game probably will be a draw. But I think that Liverpool, if there's going to be a winner, I think Liverpool will just edge it, mainly because it is at Anfield and Liverpool generally play a little bit better at home. Watford 2, Norwich 0, I have Janmat. That's generally what people do. They kind of predict what result will kind of benefit their team. Mount or Lundstrom, why not Sterling captain? I would captain a Liverpool player rather than Sterling. I don't think Sterling's record against Liverpool is that great. He probably will score now, touch wood, well, I don't know because he's in my team, so he might as well just score. But he has quite a bad record against Liverpool, so I wouldn't be taking a punt on. Edison out, so worth making Liverpool captain. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference unless Kyle Walker's starting in goal, but otherwise I don't think that the goalkeeper situation is going to affect them that much. Another question here, will Son or Kane play? I think both of them should play. I think just go check on the press conference news. I haven't even been able to check press conference news except for the Chelsea press conference today. So just go take a look at what came out of that, what Pochettino said about Kane. I know that he was injured last game week, so maybe just keep your eyes on that one. Mount third sub as he's doubtful, probably a 1-point appearance. You could if you want to. The thing is, if he does start, I would probably want him to be in my starting 11. Jimenez plus Pereira or Trent plus Jota, I'd go Jimenez and Pereira. Jota's kind of one of those that's fallen off a little bit since the start of the FPL season. Hi from Malaysia. Nice to see some wide range of people. Lots of these questions are kind of repetitions, but Maddison or Tielemans? Maddison. Tielemans or Pulisic? I would go Pulisic. That's a tough one though, because I think the price difference just makes it a little bit easier. Janmat or Peters? I think that you can... Peters is probably the safer pick, but you can take a punt on Janmat if you want and just hope. Leicester to keep a clean sheet. I think they have the potential to. I think they have the potential, higher potential than Arsenal to keep a clean sheet. So it's almost just worth a punt for me to play him. I do think that Arsenal in a little bit of a slump and Leicester are doing quite well. So I'll back Leicester to score and hopefully keep a clean sheet. Fastest player. I don't know. Sam, after 22nd in the world, I'll listen to anything you say. Just don't jump in the fire. What's that old term that your parents told you? But thanks a lot. Hopefully the advice is quite worthwhile, and hopefully it is good advice. I always try and do my best to give you guys good advice. Sending you luck from Kuala Lumpur. I think that is in Malaysia, if I'm not mistaken. So thanks a lot as well. Peters or Cresswell? I think you go Peters. Just back him more than West Ham to keep a clean sheet. Rico or Dendoncker first sub. Rico 100%. Who to start? Rico or Lundstrom? Rico. I'd start Rico over Lundstrom. Aurier, Rico or Willems? I think Rico. Why Vardy over Abraham? So I brought Vardy in for a hit because I think that Leicester are going to destroy Arsenal. So he has a little bit of a higher ceiling, in my opinion, than Abraham. I think Abraham's a safe option if you want to go for it, but to kind of nullify the hit, the -8 that I've taken, I'm going to opt for Vardy. Dayvy, can you say how's it just for our pleasure? Thanks. How's it, guys? Transfer Ramsdale to Gaza. Nigga, I think you can give him one more game week. But if you want to make the move this game week, you can go for Gaza. Captaining Jimenez, you can go for it if you want. I just think there might be better options out there. Walker or Cantwell, that's a tough one. I think I would still go Walker. There's just a lot of speculation about Cantwell and if he's going to start or not. Traore, worth the punt? I think so. It looks like he's nailed down that starting 11 slot, so you could go for him rather. Would you bench Lundstrom over Rico then? I think I would. I think that they have a better chance of keeping a clean sheet than Lundstrom does. I think that Spurs should be scoring in this game. I know that Sheffield United kind of might flick that magic wand again and keep a clean sheet against one of the big boys, but I think that this should be a game that Spurs do score in. Start Rico or Mason Mount? That's a tough one. I'd probably say Rico just because you're basically getting a guaranteed starter. Hopefully he does start. For those of you who have not jinxed it, but I think I would go for Rico over Mount. Thanks, Dayvy. Maybe I should just follow the crowd and captain Vardy. I actually don't know who's going to be the highest captain this game week. I think that Abraham is quite highly owned, so he could be looking as the highest captaincy option, but as I said, I just favor Vardy a little bit more and probably worth the punt a little bit. Traore with only 5.5 in the bank. I don't really know what that means. Are you trying to say that you got Traore and you have 5.5 in the bank or what? Daniel James for Mount, how is that? A definite little bit of a differential there. You can go for it. I just don't know if I trust United that much. Thoughts on captaining Firmino? If you don't have any other good captaincy options, you could maybe look at him, but I don't know if I would be looking at the Liverpool City game. He does usually perform well in the big games, so it could be a little bit of a differential, but I don't know. Abish saying, how do you look? Not great. Cantwell, Soyuncu. Delofeo is a strong differential. I think there is a shot for him. I think that he should hopefully try and score this game week against Norwich. I know their defense is usually labeled as the worst in the Premier League. So Carlos saying Liverpool vs City going to be a high-scoring game. I think it will be as well. It's just hard to predict who's going to be on the end of things. But if you want to take a little bit of a safe punt, you can go for him. I just think that after Vardy and Abraham, you can look at them, but I think that those two options still should do well this game week. So I don't really see any use of maybe going for a little bit of a Man City or Liverpool captain. Cheapest replacement for Diop. I would look at Newcastle. They have some nice fixtures coming up. especially around that Christmas period. They should be starting most games, so that's why I bought in the likes of Lascelles. Why start Ake over Lascelles? I just think that Bournemouth are more likely to score than Newcastle, but they probably both will score in this game, to be honest. Tielemans or Mount? To start, I would say Tielemans, but if you're going to be transferring out Tielemans or transferring out Mount for Tielemans, I don't know if I would look. Edison over Man City flexible defense or keep a cheap goalkeeper. So I don't know if I would go for Edison now, as it looks like he's rumored to be out. But other than that, I would just keep a cheap goalkeeper. What's the probability of Sterling starting? I think that he will probably 90% start. I think it's probably going to be Sterling, Aguero, and Bernardo Silva. I think that's how it's going to set out. And then the rest of the team probably picks itself with the likes of De Bruyne and everyone. Vardy or Abraham for captain. I've opted for Vardy, as he's a little bit of a better option in my opinion. High ceiling. But otherwise, hopefully, even though this has been quite a short live stream, I think that I'm going to be heading off now. I'm going to update the team and post it on Twitter now. For you guys that weren't watching this stream, which is not any of you, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the FPL content this week. 3 videos. It was quite a lot to record, but I'm happy that I did it. And hopefully you're enjoying the new sponsorship of OneFootball. So that's quite a big step for the channel, and I was quite happy to manage to get them as my first sponsorship. So, but otherwise, I'll be probably on Twitter a little bit. I don't know if I'll be replying to that many questions, but I just want to get the team over on Twitter so that no one really batters me next game week for not releasing my team online. But otherwise, hopefully Game Week 12 is a stellar game week for us all. Personally, I don't think it's going to be that great, and I think that we're going to be having quite a low-scoring average, but hopefully maybe still a green arrow for us even after this -8 hit. I see Mohammed saying more streaming, please. I will try. I just have to get over this exam period, and then I'm on holiday, so hopefully a lot more streams then, and hopefully a lot more FPL content and videos. But my Twitter is always open, so please send me any suggestions for videos you want me to cover or any questions like that. But I definitely will be trying to stream more. And as I said, if we do get a red arrow this game week, maybe we will have a little change of logo. But that's yet to be seen. And hopefully the old logo still keeps us intact with those green arrows. But otherwise, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the stream, and I'm going to be signing off. This has been Dayvy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers. Bye.